Everyone at the home screen, you can see that on this screen, we're providing certain metrics about what's going on at the organization as a whole. We can see your active patients versus your pending patients. You can see a nice chart, how the admissions are trending per month. Now, beneath that, we're going to see the My Pending Documents area. Now, for the signed in clinician, this can be very helpful to simply get started or finish on any pending documentation you have. And you can see right here in this red coloring, we can see the number of days that a particular document has been pending. So typically you're not going to see this amount of days here, 409, but of course this is a demo environment. We've been demoing the system for a long time, so we can see some of the oldest documentation that's been in the system. Now let's just say for anything that you see here, you wanted to actually complete that document. Well, what we can do is we can simply use the edit functionality to simply bring up that template and actually work to complete it. I can move this to a completed status and I can use the complete and lock functionality. And you're going to see that that now removes it from the pending documents area. It's not pending anymore. It's now completed. All right. So you can see here also some of these documents are assessments as well. Things like the cage ID or the cage aid or a Columbia or a PHQ-9, as we can see here. This is generally returned by the client back into the system. So we can see here that you will see the scores associated with any assessments as well. So that is also a functionality of the home screen here. Now, what we're going to do is transition from the home screen. We're going to transition to the patient screen. And as you can see, we now see these colorful profile tiles for all of our active clients or patients. One thing you want to take note of is up at the top is where we are going to be able to select from the different locations that we have in our organization. So all of these locations would essentially be part of the same entity or part of the same organization, but might relate to physically different locations that have separate censuses, separate users, separate caseloads. All of those different things can be separated via our selector up here. And we can even have different time zones. You can be in different parts of the country or the world. All of that is going to work just fine. So we're going to stick into our Gotham location today, and I just want to show that we do have these colorful patient profile tiles here. You can see that these first couple are in a yellow color, and then everything beyond that is a green color. Well, basically yellow correlates to pending, and active correlates to a green color here. And we can change our filters. These are the filters that are going to be provided by default. We can change these by selecting the filter dropdown. And you can see I have pending and active selected, but I could select inactive and take a look at our inactive charts, or another word someone might use is discharged charts. We have a number of different categories that we can filter down upon, and this is one of the strongest benefits of using Opus, is that we can, filter down on a certain badge or alert, right? And let's take a look at some of the badges and alerts that we have. One option we have is for against medical advice, and when we select that, it's going to remove all clients that do not have the AMA badge assigned to their profile. And you can see that you're not limited to just one badge. You can define multiple badges. We have notifications for badges, just another way for you to signify a certain criteria for any of your patients and filter down upon this information. If you're looking to export this information, that's another strong suit of Opus. We can simply come over here to the export functionality. We can select that button, and you can see if I zoom in here a little bit for our recording, we can export all of the information that we were currently or are currently filtering down upon. So super duper handy. You can open this up. You can use this drop down to select what file type you'd like to take this out of the system. And as you can see, we have a multitude of different file types you can leverage in this example. Now, we won't be covering all of the export functionalities because, quite frankly, every single screen in Opus can be exported. It would take too long to sort of go over that, but all the screens we're going to look at today can be exported in a similar fashion. We can see that we have a different view here. We have a list view, depending on how you'd like to look at your information. This view gives you the opportunity to select any of these columns here and actually sort by a particular category, whether that be the start date or, the MRN, if you want to go sequentially, or the date of birth, or alphabetically via the name. You can select any of these columns, and it's very easy to do so.